Hi, and welcome to Moonbeam Connections. I'm Jacqui-Leigh. Today on Shift Happens, Life in Transition, we're going to look at why does nothing ever go to plan? So you have these plans, it looks like a good plan, looks like you thought out everything, and yet it's not going to plan. That's what we'll be looking at today. I do set the intention that these videos find those who need them when they need them. However, it doesn't mean that the entire video is for you. It might just be part of the message, so take what resonates, leave the rest behind. If it all applies to you, great. If only little bits and pieces apply to your situation, that's great too, right? Sometimes we're not meant to hear the whole message, we're just meant to hear part of it, which may spark something in us. So let's see, why does nothing go to plan? Let's get our first card here and see what Spirit has to say. Why? Oh, too many cards, Spirit, too many cards. Thank you. Shove those here. We will start shuffling again. So, why does nothing go to plan, please? And there we go. Oh, and okay, we got a lot here. Okay, this is what we're going to do. Okay, so we have the Ace of Cups, which is interesting. So the Ace of Cups is all about love, intuition, new feelings. It's like that new offer of love. So it's kind of like Spirit saying, well, things don't go to plan because we get new offers of love. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like a romantic love offer. It could be that, well, you had this plan and you were setting this plan, but then you had another opportunity here. You had another offer over here. And so you took that too. But you were on this plan, and taking that was not part of the plan, and now your plans are thrown off, even though you don't see it as you see, no, I was still doing this plan, but there was some other offer, some other opportunity, right? Or it could be that you're always looking for that other offer, that other opportunity. Like, I have this plan, but you're always, instead of just sticking to your plan and going along, you're always willing to just jump ship and go the next plan, jump ship and go the next plan, jump ship and go the next plan. So you're never actually following through with your plans. So it feels like your plans, whenever you have these plans, they don't ever work out, but it's because you're actually not following through. You're jumping on the next opportunity. And I'm taking these two as kind of refinement cards on them. Clarification. There, that's the word I want. So we have the reversed, that's interesting, the reversed Seven of Pentacles, which is being impatient, right? Wasting things, a lack of reward. So it can be putting in the effort and not getting the rewards back up. But here, when we have it upright, he's planted these seeds, he's watching them grow, he's slowly, he's being patient, he's already planted it. Now he's being patient to allow them to grow, to allow it to blossom into what it's supposed to be. But he's also evaluating it and looking, are they growing better with fertilizer, without fertilizer? Are they growing better in more sunlight or less sunlight? And he's paying attention to this stuff. And when it's this way, it's like we're not paying attention. We're not being patient enough to allow things to actually play out and to get that reward back. Right? You're doing a lot of things without getting any kind of rewards, or you're just wasting your energy, right? So you're putting your energy in places. I have this plan, but then I'm putting my energy over here and I'm not following through with the plan. And then we have the reversed Three of Wands, which is about running into obstacles, being delayed, having those frustrations. And so what I would say is, when you put this all together, what you're getting is your plans never go through, because there's all these little opportunities or these other things to do that are distracting you, and you're not allowing the time for things to play out and grow, right? We're being too impatient. You run into obstacles, you face delays, things don't move as quickly as you want. And so now, instead of, being patient and allowing things to play out how they should or how they will, or, things take time to grow, right? We don't just start to open a business tomorrow and it's successful. We got to slowly build our clientele, slowly build, whatever products we're selling, we're evaluating, right? Evaluating. Oh, this sells really well, so we're going to stock the shelves with that. That doesn't sell really well. We're not going to stock the shelves with that anymore. And instead of doing those evaluations and taking the time and adjusting plans and being patient and figuring out when there's an obstacle, how to get over it, it's like we things don't happen as quickly as we want and we stop. We hit the first obstacle and we stop. Or, you hit the first obstacle and you're like, well, obviously this plan is completely ruined. I had it all figured out, but now there's an obstacle. So obviously it's not going to work at all. So I'm just quitting. And so it's like, you're not doing these follow throughs. And then we have these opportunities popping in, other things popping in. Hey, look over here, look over here, look over here, look over here. And you're just not focused on the plan, or allowing the plan to unfold, to have the time necessary to unfold, right? It's like you meet someone tomorrow and you're like, hey, let's get married. And they're like, we don't even know each other yet. No, I know, but I really like you. You seem really cool. Let's just get married. Let's just jump here to marriage. Let's just do that. And it's like, no, we need to take time. We need to go through the steps. We need to date, we need to run into that obstacle where we don't agree on something. And how are we going to solve it? Are we going to, talk it out, or are we going to yell and scream and call the other person names? And as we get to that obstacle, right? Now, how are we going to deal with that obstacle? Are we going to get over it in a healthy way, or are we going to create bigger and bigger obstacles for ourselves? And so what I think the cards are saying here is that, your plans don't go to fruition because there's other opportunities, other things happening. You're getting even this is like new feelings. So you have this plan, but then you get, ooh, I see a shining star over here, or I got a new plan, or I'm changing up my plan. And we're not allowing the time for our plans to actually unfold, for actually those rewards, for things to grow, right? Like we planted the seeds, and instead of waiting for them to grow, we look down and we're like, nothing's growing, and I can go over here and plant more seeds. Let's go over here and plant seeds. And then you look, you're like, nothing's growing. Okay, let's go over here and plant new seeds. Oh, nothing's growing. But if you just took the time and waited, you see, ooh, these seeds are growing. They're starting to grow. Oh, these ones aren't growing as well. That's an obstacle. Why aren't these ones growing as well? Oh, they're not getting enough sunlight. Okay, so where are we going to plant them now so that they all get good sunlight, whatever it is? So, and this will all apply differently to everybody's different situation, but we need to stay, if we're going to have a plan and we're going to see it through, right? We need to stick to that plan, be patient about it, and make those adjustments. Evaluate, make adjustments. Where do we need to make these adjustments? So, right, straight on my camera is not straight in front of me, and I gotta try it. I'm going to be moving my desk here that I have, and hopefully repositioning my camera a little bit better, but that is for a future day and not today. So let's see what Spirit says for your next step, for your planning or plans. Let's see, what next step should we be taking? Woo, that's quite a few next steps. So let's just put those back in, and we would want one or two, please. One or two. And you need to clarify, we will. Thank you. Oh, success. Your next step is success. Victory. Getting the recognition you need. This can be like public recognition too. Making progress. Getting the self-confidence. Okay, so your next step really is to just keep progressing and maybe get this idea out in the public. So it might be that you've been keeping whatever your plans are very private. And this is about public recognition, right? Public recognition of your successes, public recognition of whatever you've done. But so maybe this is your issue. You've been being a little bit too private with what you're doing. You haven't been out there enough telling people about it, right? Maybe you're starting a new, say, lawn care company, and you don't really want to tell your neighbors about it because whatever, right? Like I'm just going to do this quietly on the side until I build it up. Then maybe I'll start talking to people. But no, we need to get it out there in public, start advertising, start talking to our neighbors. Maybe your neighbors don't need you, but maybe they know people who need you, right? So I would say that your plans are getting them out there in public, telling other people about them. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like screaming from the mountaintops. Everybody knows. Maybe it's just starting with your family, right? Maybe if you start telling your family about your ideas, they will start helping you along. They will start helping you with these obstacles. They will start helping you with the being more patient so that when you call them up and you're like, I can't believe this hasn't hit yet. And they can be like, okay, it takes time, right? It takes like 5 years to grow a business. So like this, just the fact you got any traction is good. And they can sort of help you to recognize, what your successes are. And then of course, getting more and more self-confident. So it may be you plant the seeds and right away they don't start growing and you just lose all confidence because you're like, well, they should have been growing already. Obviously, I'm no good at planting seeds. I'm not a good gardener. I give up. Where it's like, no. Have a little more self-confidence, right? I planted these seeds. We're going to see them grow. We're going to take the time to make it grow. We're going to be patient enough to make it grow. We're not going to get frustrated over things, right? And of course, everybody gets frustrated. But when we get frustrated, we're going to take a breath and then figure it out. Because that's what we always do, right? We always can figure it out. So that's your next step. And let's see what your outcome of your next plan or your current plan, whatever one you're currently working on, or your next plan. Oh. So let's see what we got. That's a good outcome. What's this one? Ooh, no. Okay. So what we see with your next plan or the current plan, whatever the plan is, right? Because this is all about why does nothing go to plan. So whatever you're currently working on or you were about to work on, that would be the outcome with this. And so what we do have here is reversed 8 of Wands, which is like, it can be having miscommunications. There can be delays. We can find chaos. It can be slowing down things, right? Facing, frustrations, because I'm frustrated. I would watch with this miscommunication card, right? So when it's upright, this is about fast incoming communication, right? Speed, movement, things happening fast. This is things are not happening fast and there can be miscommunication. So with the outcome having partly miscommunication in it, I would watch for that. And this could even be in terms of you weren't out in public and telling people about this. And that was your miscommunication, was not being public. So make sure you go public. It can also be, dealing with clients or dealing with your people who supply your suppliers, those kind of things. But what I do want you to focus on is there will be delays and there will be frustrations. And we're going back to here, right? We have delays and we have frustrations. We have delays and obstacles, right? And this frustrations and this is delays. And so delays and frustrations. So just know this is part of any plan. There's always going to be delay or frustration. Nothing ever goes to plan. And if it does, it's probably there's something else going on that you didn't see, right? So realize the outcome of this business is there will be delays. There will be frustration. Things won't go as quickly as you want it to go, okay? But we're going to get through that because we also have the World card, which is about completion, right? Ending a cycle. It's about feeling complete, feeling whole. It's about getting those achievements. It's about being fulfilled. It can be about travel too, celebrating life, getting your just desserts. But it's one cycle ending and a new cycle beginning. So if you continue down this path towards your getting that recognition, getting this out in public, getting through our miscommunications and our delays, and you will find that you end up like completing a cycle. Now, it could be, in terms of completing a cycle, you have a business and you grow it up, and then you get so successful, you're able to sell it off, and you're completing that cycle, right? But it is successful. It could be that this is something within your life plan, right? And this is part of your cycle or one of the chapters you need to do. And you will reach that pinnacle of, okay, we've sort of, this chapter of building this business and working hard and growing and growing and growing. We've reached the top of it. And now we're into the next chapter. We're into the next cycle where the business is established. And now we're just maintaining and maybe growing a little bit and, adjusting, making adjustments where we need and, trying to make things better and better rather than grow and expand. We're just trying to make it better and make adjustments and easier and more efficient and those kind of things. And that's the next chapter of it. But it's definitely like This is definitely a good sign. Now, obviously, we have the delays and the miscommunication, but I think what Spirit wanted to just point out here, it is not going to be a straight line to the victory. It's not going to be, I start this plan and whoop, there we are, victory. There will be delays. There will be frustrations in it, but you can get that victory if you continue on the path. And we are going to get you an Moonology card today for sure. So let's see what the Moonology deck would like to tell you. Let's see, please. There we go. That's a little bit better. Sometimes my shuffling is okay, and sometimes it sucks. Okay, so let's see what message wants to come out of this deck for our reading today, please. What message is the highest and greatest good in terms of this reading? Oh, that one's coming out. Okay, that one's kind of falling out from the bottom. Nothing will come of this situation. Void of course, moon. So nothing will come of this situation. Now, you're definitely going to have to take that in your own way. Does that mean that this plan you have, nothing will come of it? Does that mean, or it can mean like what you're worried about, right? So I'm worried if I start this, that, whatever, these people are going to hate me. I'm worried if I start this, it's not going to be as successful as I want. I'm worried if I start this, that, I won't end up completing it, whatever it is. But so it's saying nothing will come of this situation. So I would say whatever you are worried about in terms of this whole plan, nothing is really going to come of it. Like, the things that you are concerned about or worried will happen, or, yeah. So like, there's all these things where you're like worried, like, oh, I got to tell my employer I'm going to quit, right? And then that stresses you out and you're all worried. And it's like you go in and you say, hey, I'm giving my 2 weeks notice. And they're like, oh, okay, I don't want to see you go, but, enjoy your new job, enjoy your retirement, enjoy whatever. And you're like, whoa, I spent all this time worried that they were going to be like, what? You can't do this to me. The company will fall, and really it was not a big deal. And so I would take this card as, really, it's not a big deal. Like, don't worry about it. If you're worried that, oh, if I do this horrible thing will happen. Are you sure? Are you sure that a terrible thing is going to happen, or is that just what you're worried about? So let's get you an angel number 2. Oh, and there goes our Moonology card. I'll grab that once I'm done shuffling, or it'll just keep moving on me. I try and shuffle on camera, but it gets harder and harder the more cards are in the way. More cards there are to fly. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little bit OCD about a few things. Okay, so let's get our angel number, please, for this reading. Oh, there it goes. Angel number. And we have 5, 6, 7. Evolution. You are evolving spiritually and emotionally, moving towards greater wisdom and understanding. So there you go. 5, 6, 7. You're evolving spiritually and emotionally, moving towards greater wisdom and understanding. And I think that's what this is, right? We're evolving. We're understanding. We need to take things to have patience. We need to communicate well. There will be obstacles in front of us. And as you understand that things take time, there will be obstacles. Nothing will go to plan. Every time I have an obstacle, I'll learn and I won't face that obstacle again. That's how you're going to evolve. Spiritually and emotionally, right? So that when the obstacles come in the way, instead of you just like flipping out and being like, oh, this is so horrible. How could this happen? This wasn't part of the plan. You look at it, okay, how are we going to get over this obstacle? I'm going to learn now so we don't make the same mistake again, or I'm going to learn for the next time this obstacle comes, I'm going to be able to have it fixed right away, or I'm going to understand, or I'm going to change my business practices a little bit so that, we don't reach this obstacle, or so that we can incorporate this obstacle that, whatever it is. And obviously everybody's situation is different. This doesn't have to be like about a business or anything, but it's just, you are evolving spiritually, emotionally. And as you do that, you're getting a greater wisdom, greater understanding, which is going to allow you to put your plans into motion in a better way, in a more fluid way, in a more patient in a patient way, where you understand that things take time, things take time to get established, things take time to grow, things take time to work out, right? And that things it's not just a smooth path. There's going to be dips and curves and bumps and winds and all kinds of things we need to get through. So I hope this message helped you today. I'm sending you peace, love, and happiness. Bye for now.